Well, how do you make this look? Dad, wait. Can you hear me?
There are few things in life that everyone will experience. One thing we will all experience, though, is grief. So why, then, does it feel so isolating? Why, as a society, do we find it so hard to talk about and to bear witness to the grief of those around us, or even to acknowledge our own? This is me. No, this isn't a film about me. It's about grief and the value of grieving as a community. But while filming, some of the people I had just interviewed wanted to interview me.
Do you like this place? What's your favorite part of this place?
They wanted to make sure that my grief was acknowledged, seen, heard.
Yeah, I think that's what my grief has taught me. To be present, right? To be available for my people.
It was in that moment the value, the meaning, and the true essence of what I had been witnessing around me and how grief can and should be approached was solidified. Grief should be about coming together, uniting, balancing joy and sorrow, knowing that we all grieve in our own ways and in our own times, and that being seen and acknowledged is more powerful than all the standard lines and all the words in the world. This isn't my story. It's all of ours. I'm certainly a part of it, and so are you, or someone you're close to. It's part of a club you don't want to be part of. This is grief.
Because of a stupid brain tumor.
It's part of a club you don't want to be part of. Yeah, and that no one wishes to be. And you don't think will ever happen to you, but when you're surrounded in that environment where it's like everyone has the same mutual understanding that's so unspoken, and it's just a really rewarding experience to be kind of on the other side of that and, you know, mentoring the campers that we used to be.
I've learned that it's okay to not be okay. I've learned that all emotions are valid, that anything, that anything like sadness, anger, happiness, those are all valid emotions to feel. And this camp has allowed me to express these emotions in a healthy way.
We're talking about grief that happens when someone in our life has died. Some of the thoughts and feelings are anger, sadness, isolation, confusion, happy. Yeah, you can feel happiness and joy when you're grieving.
I think I've learned that it comes in waves, especially here at camp and watching my campers as well, is that 1 minute you can be crying and you're at the photo ceremony, lots of tears, very emotional, and then the next minute you're at the carnival and you're playing with your friends and you're laughing and you're giggling. So I think learning from camp is that it's okay to have your grief go up and down, and that some minutes you're really feeling the grief and other minutes you're able to focus on other things.
I think just being in a space where everybody gets it is so memorable and it's so powerful.
It's so special to meet other people who are also grieving because you don't always get that in the outside world.
For me, I was one of the only kids in my school who had had someone die, so being in a space where there were 100 other kids was something I'd never seen before and was something so memorable because of the unfamiliarity.
It's pretty fun. Like, I like being with people that have the same experience as me, like seeing I'm not alone with that. You'll never like have that piece of your life back, but it'll definitely get better over time.
One thing I've learned is probably that it's never gonna go away, and people always tell me it's gonna be better, but it doesn't get better, it just gets easier.
There's one quote about grief that I love, that I live by. It's that grief is all the unexpressed love we were unable to give. Living through that lens, through that quote, it kind of helps you understand your grief and understand that you have and had so much love for these people or this person. I'm going to take that and I'm going to give it into other people in my life. I'm going to give that into myself. So I think that that's definitely something that I've learned and lived by.
I was actually just talking about this outside. I live by the saying, everything happens for a reason. It's taught me that I can grieve my dad and that my grief is going to help shape who I am, and the grief has.
Well, if you do experience grief, there isn't a right way to do it. So don't let what others think of grief decide what you think of grief.
Like, it felt so welcoming, and it's not like people weren't trying to be like, this is the place for you, like you belong here. Like, it just felt naturally so welcoming.
It wasn't all about the grief, you know? It was a camp too. It wasn't just a grief camp, it was a camp.
Like, I felt like everything was gonna be so forced, and I was really nervous about that because, like, honestly, like, not being used to talking about grief and stuff, like, I was really nervous just coming here, but I ended up just talking about it, and it felt like a big relief, and I didn't feel guilty or like I didn't regret anything that I said because I wanted to say it.
Yeah, grief is this funny thing, right? You don't really understand it until you have to understand it, and it's kind of this taboo, not talked about feeling and emotions that everyone at one point in their life will experience.
Grief has definitely like changed like how I see things. Like, you know, you only live once, and you need to make the most of it, and you could die tomorrow. And while that would suck, like, that's why you take opportunities, you do hard things, even when you might not want to, like, push yourself.
You can be kind of anyone you want to be, and just because you've had a loss in your life doesn't mean your life is kind of done.
Well, grief doesn't mean you should stop having fun and just let yourself go away and just sit in your house and do nothing. Grief means that you feel sad, but you should still be happy. You still be happy, you still have your normal life. You just have someone that's really special to you not there. Grief doesn't mean sadness, well, it does, but grief doesn't mean be upset and never do anything. Grief means to know you're sad, but also to be happy a lot.
I think I learned that grief, although is unique to everyone, is not an isolated or individual experience. It really should be experienced together.
It happens to a lot more people than you think. Like, you're really just not as alone as you think you are. And that no matter like what happened, everyone's still grieving. It's not worse or better than anyone else's, it's just what has happened. In your mind, a switch goes off and you think, wow, like this makes sense, this feels right. And everybody knows how I feel, one way or another. Everyone gets a sense of how I feel. Everyone maybe feels similar to me, and that's completely okay.
Coming to camp is so special because you can have that weight lifted off of your shoulders. Like, you don't have to have walls up. You can kind of just relax, and you can share about your person, and it doesn't have to be weird or awkward. And if you cry, like, it's okay. You're allowed to feel your emotions. And I've just like learned that it is okay to feel my emotions and that I shouldn't have to bottle them up for other people.
You really find the community that you lack when you're grieving, especially when you're young. And I didn't really have anyone in my life other than my siblings who had lost someone. So coming to camp really showed me there are actually people out there who are grieving, and it's similar to myself. So that community just brought me right back.
It makes me feel better because they know how I feel. I feel bad that they know how I feel. I don't want them to feel like that. But I'm happy that people understand how I feel and they know how to help me.
That proudness that you can feel for yourself of just growing, not out of your grief, but with your grief, is just, it's monumental.
As I reflect back on my time at camp and the time making this film, it validated what I already believed to be true. It's that grief is better when experienced as a community. It doesn't make the grief better. Nothing can make grief better. But when we confront the realities of our grief in community, as opposed to in isolation, it provides us with a very different experience. New insights emerge. We feel less alone. We feel seen and understood. We feel like we have found our people. And it isn't because there's a sense of obligation to talk. There isn't an expectation that anything has to be said. But there is a strong felt sense. A sense of knowing, relating and connecting on a deep and unspoken level. So welcome to the club we will all be a part of. This is grief.
The soundless The trees are spines against the sky. The stars like eyes, they watch, they spy. A million questions left unsaid. 1,000 echoes in my head. The quiet